One of the most infamous tariff policies in American history was called the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930. It was named after Senator Reed Smoot and Representative Willis Hawley. It raised U.S. tax on as many as 20,000 imported goods. Passed during the beginning of the Great Depression, the goal was protecting American farmers and industries that were losing income from extremely low crop prices and outside competition. Many economists were against it as this could worsen the Great Depression, though lawmakers still believe raising tariffs on thousands of imports would force Americans to buy products made in the United States, and so it was signed into law by President Herbert Hoover. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act had a significant effect on individuals, businesses, and the economy. For many individuals, everyday goods became more expensive because of the increased taxes. Imported items would cost a lot more. Consumers had less spending power, food became scarce, and living costs increased. During this time period, nearly one-fourth of Americans were unemployed, so they had no source of income. Families couldn't even afford food and rent, leaving many people homeless and facing hunger. For businesses, some benefited from the reduced competition, but not all businesses experienced this. The majority of them suffered as less people were buying goods. Countries also retaliated against the tariffs by raising their own tariffs on American goods. This heavily affected farmers who sold their crops overseas. In the end, farmers had lost a huge market and had less income and fewer buyers. Manufacturers had to reduce production as consumer confidence dwindled. The loss of profit led to companies letting go of employees, increasing unemployment. Internal factors and a bad global trade relationship left America's struggling economy in shambles. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act helped only a small group of businesses for a short term, but when countries retaliated, everybody paid a price, so no one truly won long-term from the tariffs. Companies closed down, workers lost their jobs, farmers lost markets, and families dealt with higher-priced goods. This infamous policy became an example of how tariffs meant to protect our American industries can weaken it when countries decide to retaliate. After this, Hoover's reputation collapsed. He even had shantytowns named after him called Hoovervilles. And in the next election cycle against FDR, he lost by a huge landslide. FDR's 472 to Herbert Hoover's 59. This showed Americans believed the tariffs failed. In today's world, how tariff policies could affect my life, family, or community is by making basic necessities expensive. Groceries are currently expensive, and tariffs would make them unaffordable for any struggling family. Family-owned restaurants could have a hard time staying afloat when food prices increase. If tariffs were to be implemented on oil, fuel prices would skyrocket and make it costly to travel long distances. People who commute to work will suffer from the high gas prices. Less people are likely to buy stuff because of how expensive everything is. We'll also have less savings and a smaller budget to work with. Everyone in the community would suffer from the tariff prices.